All right, we're on to the red commons. Scotty, do you want to start?
Wild Ride. Red for a sorcery. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Harmonize, 4 and a red. These cards, without understanding the entire context of the set, I find to be incredibly difficult to evaluate. Because
Yeah.
either this card is a very niche, incredible role player, or it's completely worthless. Wizards has gotten a little bit better at not putting cards in the set that are complete duds for any archetype. But in any case at all, you can usually wheel these. So I will say that I'm giving this a D, but I can see an archetype being happy to run multiple wild rides. What exactly does that archetype look like? I'm not entirely sure yet, but it's a role player that I would like to wheel if I were to try to go in that deck.
Some kind of flyers are killing them. I mean, because this is a common, you can get a lot of them, so you're kind of killing them with flyers. I feel like...
And then you're tapping your ground creatures or something?
Well, first time you don't tap, and then the next time you can, but maybe you don't have to, maybe you just pay 5 mana to do this. You know, this being a common feels to me like there is gonna be a deck that wants this. And...
This wants a Healer's Hawk.
But there is not... Red doesn't really have that many flyers, is the thing. It's weird. Like I'm gonna give it a D minus, because this card is absolute garbage when I look at it. But I feel like there's gonna be something to make that it's not gonna be bad. Maybe Boros with that first striker, maybe that. There's maybe gonna be something, but I think it's basically unplayable until I figure out what that is. Like I gotta see what is it. What is it gonna be that makes this card not unplayable? There's gotta be something in the set. But first I gotta figure it out, so D minus for now, and we're gonna see later. Because in most sets it's just garbage.
Yeah, I mean, like, to clarify, if we're just like adding a +1/+1 counter on my 3-drop and scrying one, I don't want Wild Ride, right? I don't want to be double spelling with Wild Ride to pump my common white creature. I really do want to have this be a like a Bolt Wave, right? This wants to be Bolt Wave plus, Bolt Wave plus, and if you can get that deck together, that's good. You really want evasion, because like you don't even want to be chumped, to even have the chance of being chumped. So, you know, like if it's a no evasive double striker, that's like, unfortunately, I don't think good enough. I think you just want evasion.
Because you lose a card and they block with something, and they lose a card or they lose a token. Devoted Duelist. For 1 and a red, it's a 2/1 haster with flurry. Whenever you cast second spell each turn, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's really bad. That's, I think, really, really bad. Not easy to cast 2 spells, like you're not gonna play a billion of them. This doesn't survive ever. I'm just gonna give it a D minus. I think this is a horrible 2-drop. Every other 2-drop seemed better.
Don't love it. D. Yeah. Even in the top deck battles, like it incentivizes you to not develop the board, which could punish you. Which is rough.
Yeah, you're not.
Which is where I think the redeeming factors are for cards like this is that if you do stall out the game, this can potentially get you over the finish line, but it incentivizes such poor play patterns in the late game
that you don't play cards.
I'm just not in love with it at all.
And maybe if it was a 1/3, it can survive, but 2/1 doesn't survive anything. So you're just have it as an artifact or enchantment when you're doing this. So no, just play better 2-drop, I think.
Fire Rim form, 1 and a red for an enchantment. Flash, enchant creature. When this aura enters, enchanted creature gains first strike until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0.
Oh.
It's an alright combat trick, actually. I think this is an okay combat trick. The fact that it sticks around is actually quite nice. It's actually quite punishing when you do block, and it wins most developing stage combat. So fine. I think in terms of combat tricks, this looks like a better than average combat trick.
Very good on mobilized cards.
Yes, not on the tokens, on the mobilized cards.
Yeah.
But you can use it on the tokens if you just want to trade 1 for 1. You know, that's okay.
That's great.
Yeah, that's fine. I think this is a C minus.
I want a C minus as well, at least. I think it's I can see it being better. This is the one I want, not that +3 garbage. So you play a 2-drop, or if you're trading with if you're attacking, opponent wants to trade with your 2-drop. You use this, and then all of a sudden, your card now trades with their 3-drops and 4-drops. You're not running multiples? I'm running multiples of this, but start as a C-, but I can see it just being a C. And I just want to give it a C. It's a really good trick. Let's go C-. We're gonna see. If I'm aggressive, I'm gonna love it though. 1 and a red, Jeskai Devotee. It's a 2/2 flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it filters for your Jeskai mana, blue, red, white. Yeah, that's pretty good. A little bit irritated. This is not the best flurry ability I've seen. One of the best ones. Because it's on a 2-drop, that's a 2/2 that filters already, so that's nice. Man, it's gonna be a little bit irritating to block this. I'm gonna C or C+ for this one, man. I like this quite a lot. I'm actually gonna start it as a C+.
Okay, I'm a little bit lower on a C. It's not. I think it is relatively safe to block this if your opponent hasn't cast something main phase 1, and the times where we can cast something main phase 1 and have something to back it up with is relatively uncommon. But yeah, we should reiterate the first time of the day. These filtering effects I do think are quite strong. I do think they're very good. They're all on cheap cards. They can help curve you out. So just imagine your opening hand. Some opening hands are absolutely saved by having a devotee in it.
Yep.
To the point where you're like not mulliganing, which is huge, right? That just can't be understated. Mulliganing sucks, and not mulliganing is great. So the range of keepable hands expands when you have devotees.
Yeah, casting spells is good. Somebody said it's like a worst prowess. Grinch said it, but I mean 2-drops don't have 2-mana 2/2s that have prowess are crazy. So it's way worse prowess, but that would be crazy if this had prowess. But thank God it doesn't.
Molten Exhale, 1 in red for a sorcery. You may cast this spell as though it had flash. If you behold a dragon as additional cost to cast it, Molten Exhale deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. At common, 4 mana or 4 damage. Whew, that's kind of nice. That's nice. This is nice. 4 damage.
You said 4 mana, 4 damage. You didn't. I know you were correcting yourself, but it seemed like you said 4 mana, 4 damage.
I might have said the wrong thing. So instant speed 4 damage for 2 mana is crazy. That's crazy business. That's a B in my book. 2 damage, 4 or sorry, 2. God,
what
this is hard. It's hard.
It is 2 mana.
Reading
4
is hard.
It is a very simple card, Scotty.
I can't handle it. So yeah, sorcery speed, it's like a B-, and I think it's somewhere in the middle. So I'm starting this as a B-, but it's very good.
This is maybe the best removal spell I've seen. It does not kill dragons, really, not a lot of them. But yeah, I'm gonna B- as well, but I think it's gonna go up to a B. Very good removal. Okay, Shock Brigade. For 1 and a red, it's a 1/3 menace with mobilize 1. Okay, this is a really nice way to mobilize. A 2-drop that's kind of hard to block. I'm very into this one. If you care about this, if this is what you're doing, this is gonna be the real deal. So I'm gonna go on a C+. Very nice. Very nice role player.
Yeah, this is a 2-drop. This is probably the desirable 2-drop, you know? In certain sets, there's always going to be like a desirable common 2-drop that you want for an archetype. Colors get insanely deep when multiples of them are highly desirable 2-drops, like in my opinion what white looks like in this set. But this one might be the card for any decks that care about mobilize at common. For example, you probably don't want that flurry pinging one, right? But you want this one. This is the one you're going to go for. So C+ for me as well.
This is also the reason, like this 2-drop, the Devotee 2-drop, is why this duelist gets a horrible grade at D-. Because just red has 2 way better 2-drops, and then other colors have amazing 2-drops as well. So this one, it has no place. There's just too many 2-drops. Every 2-drop is better. So how do you play this? Not on F, because sometimes you're gonna have 3 2-drops and you gotta put some more. But yeah. Twin Bolt for 1 and a red. It's an instant that deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Okay, there are X ones in the set, okay. That's pretty cool. But historically it's not been anything special. It's just fine. I want a D+. It's a little bit too much mana for the damage. I don't think there's enough X ones, so it's cool.
Yeah, I'll go C-. It's kind of nice that because of stuff like mobilized tokens, you can quote unquote finish off 2 power creatures and maybe get a little bit additional
that's
value.
actually
But I
pretty
do think
cool,
that's
yeah.
a little bit of hoops to jump through.
Oh, but that is pretty
So
cool. That
C-.
is pretty cool. But it feels like it's better to finish them with like Fire Ring form, +2 +0. Like, okay.
Rescue Leopard. 2 red for a 3 mana creature cat. It's a 4/2. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. I'm not a huge fan of 2 toughness on my 3-drop here, even if it does hit relatively hard. You can probably get a hit in, right, before it trades off with basically anything. However, the kicker here with the high toughness is harmonize. That's the joke, right? The joke that Wizards is trying to present to you is harmonizing with this card. And if you harmonize, you get a little bit of additional value. Are you going to have like a deck where you can just harmonize every single turn on your Rescue Leopard, turn through your entire deck? I think that's going to be rare. I think that's not going to be rare. Or sorry, I think that's going to be not common. And also it's a common, this card. So you don't necessarily need to take this super highly in order to have access to this. Because I also don't think that people who are not harmonizing want this. I don't think the normal decks see this as a super, super valuable card. It's a fine filler for those decks. So I think you can take this at a C- and still have it in the decks where you want it.
Yeah, I mean, 4-2 is pretty bad stat line. It's a really bad stat line, but it's free looting, so why not? So I guess C- seems fine. I think it's gonna go down to D+, just because I really hate 2 toughness for 3 drops. But let's start the free looting as a C-. It can really go down, I think. This opportunity for 2 and a red. For 2 and a red, choose 1. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of next turn. You may play those cards, or up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+1 until end of turn. Bad card draw or a bad trick? But I guess you can do both, and this is pretty cool with the mobilized creatures, right? That is really cool with mobilized creatures, I guess. I guess because you can draw cards, I give it a D+, but I'm not a big fan. I guess if you have a lot of mobilize, you can get it up, but 1 toughness is not that great. But it's kind of nice that you can always just pay 3 to draw cards.
Yeah, not a fan. D+.
The problem is like you don't really draw 2 cards. Sometimes you cannot play both of those.
Yeah, like with divination type effects, I think a lot of value is being able to play them on turn 3 if you have to hit land drops, etc. But sometimes you're just going to flip like your 5-drop, and that's horrible.
Yep.
It's awful.
Yep.
Underfoot Underdogs, 2 and a red for a creature Goblin Warrior. It's a 1/2. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token. 1 and tap, target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Yeah, so I think this is fine. I think it's fine. It's funny because like years ago, I think this would have been like maybe the best red common, but I think the cards get a little bit better than that now. I still think this card is quite good. I'm giving this a C+, 2 bodies, some evasion, so utility for this small creature, double blocks relatively well, having two toughness and something that you actually don't really care about trading off, with additional effects of going wide. So C+ for me.
I think this is really bad. I think it's really bad, Scott. I mean, this is... You say 2 bodies, yes. But 2 very small bodies. This combined is a very small bodied 3-drop. And it doesn't pass the vanilla test. It's pretty important for 2-drops and 3-drops. And any cards. You give it a C+?
C+, yeah. I'm a Goblin Smuggler lover.
What do you give a white 2-drop that is a 1/2 that makes a 1/1 or becomes a 2/3 with a counter? Because if this is a C+, then that card is like a B+ or an A-, I think.
Okay, I think the Goblin Smuggler as an effect, especially on small mobilized creatures, is very strong. I think the effect is quite good.
I mean, they can block the mobilized thing though. I think it's too weak. I think it's too weak. I'm gonna give it a D+. It's just the
Nice.
bodies are too small. Like the effect is good only with the on the offense, and this doesn't help your defense. So, and it doesn't help your offense, right? This doesn't make your race better, faster, and it doesn't, and it puts you behind on tempo. So if something is putting me behind on tempo, I kind of want it to really help with these attacks. So D+, I think it's easy to get. I think if you're hyper aggro, you're gonna be fine getting one of these in your deck, and it should be very easy.
Okay, I think that decks that care about going wide are going to be happy running 4 of these at the 3-drop slot.
I would be so surprised.
Let's do it. All right.
I cannot wait for this card to see what you're saying. I think this is gonna be one of the not very well performing commons. It would be interesting if it's then red is so aggressive, right? Then red is crazy aggressive.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be aggressive for the play pattern of build a wide board, pseudo overrun, right?
But this is so much worse in an overrun deck. You already have a huge board now. Why wouldn't you attack with this then? If you're doing that kind of an wide board, then just attack with everything, right? Then you don't want this effect. This is worth it more when you want to hit with that one creature over and over.
Well, I mean, I'm just meant for the 2 bodies, but we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, there are some lifelinkers in black, so that's something. It's just such a small body, man. Meticulous Artisan for 3 and a red. It's a 3/3 with prowess. And when this creature enters, create a treasure token. I gave it a D+ for the last one. And I think that's a high grade, maybe. The Artisan is a freaking 4 mana 3/3. Prowess or no prowess? That's really small. Treasure? Treasure is something to think about in this set. Because you're playing 3 colors a lot of times. So treasures are much more valuable. And I guess that's why they didn't put it on a 3-drop. 3-drop is where I'm happy with treasures. 4 mana 3/3. I think when you start playing 3-drops, it is 4-drops. It is very important for those 4-drops to block basically every 3-drop and 2-drop in the game without any help. And this doesn't do that. I'm just gonna be on a D for this one because of that. I can see it going up to a D+ though. What do you think, Scotty?
It's rough. I don't want to fix with my 4-drop, and I don't exactly see any decks wanting this. It does things. It does things, right? But none of them are particularly desirable.
The vanilla
So
check.
I'm also on a D+.
The vanilla check. Oh, I'm on a D. I'm not on a D+.
Oh, you're on a D. I'm on a D+.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you want to talk about vanilla stuff, how close is a 3/3 with prowess for 4 mana for you?
To the 4/4?
Yeah.
Not close.
Okay.
Not extremely far
I do
away.
think prowess is a very powerful ability.
Yeah, on a good creature. On a creature that passes vanilla check. Prowess on a creature that doesn't pass vanilla check is nothing. It's like, oh, it's not unplayable, I guess.
Summit Intimidator, 3 and a red for a creature Yeti. It's a 4/3 with reach. When this creature enters, target creature can't block this turn.
That's
this
interesting.
Weird. It's a weird card.
Yeah, it's a weird card.
It's very bizarre. This is a very bizarre set of abilities. So yeah, it has reach, which is strange. It's aggressive, but it also trades off with a lot of stuff. And it's not particularly synergistic with like anything. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a hater. I'm gonna start this at a D+, but mostly because it's another card that looks like it does things, but doesn't necessarily fit or is desirable in any archetype. So
yeah, the problem is the
D+
vanilla
for me.
check. Same. Actually, I am gonna be.
You're gonna be? That's a little high.
I'm gonna be on a. I guess D+ seems so much for. I'm gonna give it a D, just a D. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. It's just so many better 4-drops. In this case, everything is a better for just a D. I think this card is really bad. I think the last card is really bad. Wait, red is kind of going with weird route. I was happy with 2 drops. Let's see the next one. Narset's Rebuke. For 4 and a red, Narset's Rebuke is instant speed and deals 5 damage to target creature. And you add a Jeskai mana, blue, red, and white. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Okay, this is an interesting take. So many times we have had 5 mana, 5 damage, sorcery speed in red. For some reason, it was like the R&D were stuck in a loop. Like, oh, let's print a removal spell in red that anybody who knows to play Magic is not gonna play. Over and over and over again. And then they made it instant speed sometimes, and then it's like, oh, we can think about it now. And then they went back to the sorcery speed. And it's not good as an instant. It's not good as a sorcery. But now we can play a 3-drop or something with this. Maybe a 4-drop if you have 6 mana. This is definitely an extra and it gets exiled. I'm not against this card. If you can play a 3-drop, it's basically 2 mana. So I'm kind of not against this card. I'm actually gonna be on a C minus on this one. Or a C. On C minus. What do you think, Scotty?
I'm on a C, yeah. Sometimes you just need these types of effects. And for the clunky red common removal, it's really not that bad. Double spelling is extremely powerful. Sometimes helping you fix is really powerful. But yeah, not the worst. Especially, I mean, it's even better if you have like stuff like mana sinks too. So you're just never waste that mana. I'm in. C.
Okay, I'll give it a C from me as well. I kind of like this. I'm happy with this. This seems good.
Storm Shriek Feral. 4 and a red. For a creature dragon, that's a 3/3 with flying and haste. 1 in a red, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Flush Out, which is 1 in a red, which is a sorcery omen. To discard a card, if you do, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually kind of nice, I think.
Yeah.
On the turn, so on turn 5, right? Dropping a 3/3 with flying and haste is actually not bad. The problem with flying and haste 3/3s for 3 mana is the turns afterwards, in terms of not being able to trade up, not being able to attack past things, because you can usually surprise someone with an open attack on turn 5. So getting the initial points of damage isn't an issue. But I think fire breathing, even if it's really crappy fire breathing, is much better. It also just drastically increases the clock. Right? Let's say on turn 6, you just have nothing to do. You're top decking, just all of a sudden, bam, hitting for 6.
I mean,
That's,
5 mana
pretty real.
3/3s, Scott, you said it has a problem trading up, it has a problem trading down.
I don't know. I mean, you expect me to know English? It's not like I speak other languages. I don't know. I don't know how to English. And I actually think Tormenting Voice, when you need a Tormenting Voice, which is the discard a card, draw 2 cards type effect, is just a card that is good in terms of your gameplay, and sometimes you're really, really happy to have it, but it takes up a slot in your deck, and it's just never something your deck needs. And stapling this onto a creature like Stormshriek Feral is actually really, really nice to be able to bail you out of, for example, early mana-stuck situations. Especially on like turn 4, when you have a 2-drop in hand, flush out, you can flush out hitting your 4th land drop and then play your 2-drop, which is actually, totally solid. Sometimes you just need it. So I kind of like this card. I think this is solid. I think this is a C.
Yeah, I'm gonna C as well. This is really good. This omen is really good, yeah. And you keep shuffling it back so you can get it multiple times. So I like that. Even though the Dragon part is kind of crappy, but now you can behold super easily. So I think this is the second best dragon because of the flush out that we saw. The white one is just miles ahead, right? Because you get a 2-drop. You always need 2-drops in your deck. You don't need things like flush out. You don't need 5 mana. You really don't need 5 mana 3/3 flying hasters. But 5 mana 3/4s that buff a creature every single turn. That's something that is nice in the deck. So white one is ahead of everything, but really good as well. So red commons, Scotty. Started strong, I think. But you just need a couple of good commons and the color is good, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look embarrassing. It's not embarrassing all the way up and down, and specifically the removal spells look good.
Yeah, so, the removal spells are really nice.
Yep, so pretty happy about that.
And then there is good trick. There are 2 really good 2-drops, I think. And some other cards are playable. So, yeah. Buha. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with red. With red commons, but again, you don't need every common to be pretty damn good. Like white, kind of like when we go to white commons, like I mean, I guess white also has a couple of medium commons. So, but yeah, red actually seems pretty damn good. Now that I think about it, white also has some kind of medium commons. Still, white commons I like the most. That we're gonna see.
Yeah. White definitely seems like the best commons. I also think with common singular cards change everything. So if I end up being more right about stupid goblin pooper, then red looks much better.
All right, we're on to the red uncommons. Or
Channel Dragonfire,
Okay.
red, for a sorcery. Channel Dragonfire deals 2 damage to any target. Harmonize, 5 red. You may cast this card. Oh yeah, okay. So this is actually just fine, right? This is fine. One issue with these cards is that they cannot scale up to kill things in the later game. But in the early turns, in the first 3 turns, if you can kill something, you feel very far ahead because the mana efficiency is just great. Your opponent plays a 3-drop, you snipe it off for 1 mana, you feel excellent, right? This gets amended slightly. For example, if you're getting hit by like a 4 toughness or a 3 toughness flyer and you just really need to kill it to be able to cast both sides in the same turn in the late game. That flexibility is nice. I do think that this is a pretty good card. And sometimes you can just kill something early and then kill something late. I do think that there's a lot of power here. So I'm actually going to give this a B-. I actually think it's quite good. Sorcery speed does suck, but being able to come back from the graveyard, even if it's very expensive, I think is powerful.
I think this is whatever. Sorcery Speed Shock, I don't like it. The Bobble had an artifact team into it, and it could surveil it could surveil. Here you need to pay a lot of mana or tap a huge creature. So I don't think that's that good. I don't think that's that good. So I'm just gonna be on a D plus for this one. Yeah.
Gee, man.
Yeah, man, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. This Harmonize is 7 mana, man, it doesn't help it at all. So hard to play. You need triple red. And then pay... Okay, dodge. Or dodge tu. Vidi kaj sam ti rekao. Hey, dodge it. Hop. Aha. Hop. I'm trying to get her to come here. She's half past it.
This is so backwards. Did you like Grim Bobble?
Yes. Actually, yes. I
think Grim Bobble sucks.
Huh?
I think Grim Bobble sucks.
I mean, it's pretty...
This is nuts. How is this even possible?
Wait, you think Green Bubble sucks? But it's like waivers.
I think Green Bubble sucks.
There's no graveyard, and there's artifact synergies there. And it surveils later on. And you can sometimes you want to sack an artifact, rarely, but maybe you want to them artifact or something. Like surveil is
I think it's dead so often.
Yeah, but surveil is like a real deal in the post set.
The surveil is the best part, yeah, for sure. But I think the ability, even with triple red, to kill something larger is way stronger.
Because the Sorcery Speed Shock is so bad, I thought the Dream Bubble is gonna be bad. Scotty still thinks that. Like, I'm not about like, oh, stats are everything. I think a lot of cards are great that people misuse in a lot of attacks, but Green Bubble is one of the best performing black commons. So in basically any deck, especially if you care a little bit about. It's mostly if you care about artifacts, it's even better. So yeah, Green Bubble was really good. The Harmonize part is so freaking off. It costs so much that I'm just on it. How do you like this much more than the Green Bubble? Green Bubble was like one of the best black commons.
The ability to kill larger things is everything for me in the late game.
Paying 3 red or mana.
Yeah, and the late game you have 3 red.
And you gotta tap like something.
So like Grim Bobble feels busted on curve. And this is going to feel the same busted on curve when you're able to kill a 2-drop or a 3-drop. It feels incredibly good. And this has that same ability. But it's also much, much better in the late game.
I guess a lot of things do have 2 toughness. Like, I can give it a C-. I think it's not better. I think it's better in late game to kill a random thing as 1 tough or 2 toughness, hopefully, and then surveil. In that set that is a very slow.
Do you like Pact Altair?
It's I think it's the best black.
Dang, I think that card also sucks. Maybe I just never drafted black.
What the fuck, man? Okay, so those cards don't suck. This is no. There's
So,
no.
sucks is definitely an overstatement.
Yeah,
this is being inflammatory. don't listen to me seriously on that one.
There are no opinions there, right? Like, if the cards are one of the best performing commons in the set, then if anybody's opinion is this card is not good, it needs to be changed somehow. The opinion must be at fault, because again, I'm gonna play cards with 50% win rate and think they're great because I put them in the right decks, and I play maybe a little bit different decks, and they're not just like, oh, good creature, I play it and that's it. Touch, up. Up. Yeah, I just like her to sit in my lap. I don't think you can see her. I need to lower my cam. Huh?
Should we read Effigy?
Up.
I can read Effigy. Fleeting Effigy, red for a creature elemental. It's a 2/2 with haste. At the beginning of your end step, return this creature to its owner's hand. 2 and a black. This creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Yeah, so this is like a burn spell that can sometimes be good at multi-spelling. It's kind of nice that this goes back to your hand. I think this is a little cute, and I'm not a huge believer in it. You do get in, like, you know, some amount of damage early, probably in the first 2 turns if it's your opening hand. You get into 4 damage. I guess if your flurry style deck is super aggressive leaning, you can use this as an enabling tool, because it actually does do that relatively well. Like, triggers it every single turn for the cost of 1 mana. But I think you have to have those specific synergies, and I'm not huge on it. So I think this is like a D+. And if this can probably have a ceiling of like a C.
I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like a real effect, and not many things care about flurry. Maybe there are more things that care about flurry, but I don't think there is enough. So I'm just gonna be on a. Yeah, it's D or a D+. I'm just gonna be on a D for this one. And when you get a flyer deck, sure, but I think it's gonna be rare, very rare to get it. So here you go. By the way, so about this card and the Pedal Terror, do you look at the data at all?
Nope.
No? You don't?
Nope. Don't look at data at all.
Okay, yeah. That's something I like to do, like draft and don't use 17 lands. But I also like to check 17 lands because I want to draft a good deck. I want to draft a good card for my deck, not for people and their decks or wherever they are right now in the deck building. But if something is the best performing common, uncommon, or top 5 or something, then that card must be good. I can't believe. Did you ever play Black Artifact team deck, like Black Blue?
Yep.
And you didn't like play Pedal Terror?
No, Pact Altair is good. No, hey, get off the Pact Altair. That was just a troll.
Oh, that was a troll. Okay.
The Pact Altair is a good magic card.
All right. The bubble was great as well. Just artifacts, surveil, huge deal. So if you ever kill anything, it's amazing at any point. It's really nice at any point of the game. And sometimes you just like kill something that's smaller. But again, surveil, artifact team, this thing doesn't have that. But yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Lol, such a negative. He doesn't care about our decks, chat. Maybe I do. If you get some coaching. No, it's whatever. Reverberating summons. For 1 and a red, it's an enchantment. At the beginning of each combat, if you cast 2 or more spells this turn, this enchantment becomes a 3/3 monk creature with haste in addition to its other types until end of turn. For 2 and a red, discard your whole hand. Sacrifice this enchantment, draw 2 cards. That's bad. This feels bad. You gotta cast 2 spells on your main phase? Horrible, I think. Reward is a freaking 3/3. Ooh, this is horrible. It's not that easy to cast this. And it never blocks. I guess drawing 2 cards later on is kind of nice. I guess like drawing cards, because you don't have to discard anything, right? It can be 2 mana, draw a card. Okay. I'm thinking, I kind of felt like you have to discard 1 card. In a hyper aggressive low curve deck, I think this is good. No, wait, this is 4 mana to draw 2 cards. Get out of here! This is a D-. This card is horrible. This is 4 mana draw 2 cards later on. Horrible. In a fast deck, especially in a fast deck. In a fast deck, I want to have creatures that are always creatures. Get away from me. It's D-. Horrible.
Why do the flurry cards look so bad?
I don't know. There's also
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a D-.
couple of them.
I can't believe this has no keywords.
With such a condition, with such a crazy condition. And only for 1 turn. Double strike might be fine, right?
Well, that might be a bit much, but shocking sharpshooter. I hate this name. 1 in a red for a 2 mana creature human archer. It's a 1/3 with reach. When another creature you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to a target opponent. Yeah, entering includes mobilize stuff, includes anything that you have enduring for, right? Pings for multiple times. It's a 1/3, so it survives reasonably well. Can block a 2-drop and just have it be fine. The body itself, kind of crap, but the damage it represents, especially on curve, incredibly high. Incredibly high. I like this card. C+.
I'm gonna be on a B-, I think, for this one. This can be a crap ton of damage. Yep, B- with Endure, with Mobilize, this is stuff. This is the stuff. I'm okay with a B-. That is great. Sunset Strike Master. For 1 in a red, it's a 3/1. You can tap it for another red. You can also pay 2 mana red and tap this and sack it. It deals 6 damage to target creature with flying. Yeah! A 2 mana 3/1 that can ramp me. Like a ramper that's a real body. This is not a 2/1. This is a 3/1. This is great. This is amazing. And then it can kill any dragon. Oh yeah! I'm on a B-.
B-.
Beautiful. Beautiful card.
Great. This is Overwhelming Surge, 2 in a red for an instant. Choose 1 or both. Overwhelming Surge deals 3 damage to any creature or destroy target non-creature artifact.
Horrible.
Non-creature artifact. So the non-creature artifact part is like what, monuments?
Yeah, right? It's just the monuments.
Just the monuments, I think, yeah. 3
there's the
damage, 3
globe
mana,
one,
3
yeah.
damage has been a long time since that's been good. That's quite mediocre. I think this is D+. This 3 damage for 3 is
Oh wait,
yeah,
shit.
it's just not really not where you want to be. So I'm on a D+ here.
There's a green artifact. There's that.
Yeah, the one that gives.
There's the.
There's a couple.
The blue artifact that makes tutus. There's a white artifact that's an equipment. Good thing this is because those cards are pretty cool, but not broken. So it's actually really good that this is uncommon, because then you can play them. Then you can play those cards.
This makes them sideboard this in.
This makes them significantly worse, because they're not that great right off the bat, I think. So I'm on a D for this. I don't care about it at all. I think the 3 damage is not good. It's not even to any target. Nope. Like to any target is not good, but Unsparing Boltcaster for 2 and a red, it's a 3/3. Blip. When this creature enters, it deals 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Oh yeah. Wait, it's kind of good with a 2 damage, I guess. 2 damage spell, that helps, but they're both uncommons. So you have mobilize tokens, right? Mobilize. You have that 1/3. Right? That 1/3 that has menace, that's a common that has mobilized 1. So this creature is actually incredible in this set. It's fine in any set, I think. But just attacking with something and then it dies. Usually we have this on a 4 mana 4/2 or shit like that. This is great. This is amazing on a 3 mana 3/3. Man, this is gonna feel like Flame Tongue Kavu so many times with those mobilized creatures. I'm gonna B- for this one. This is crazy for this set.
I think this is significantly better than its black counterparts. And I think that makes it a C+.
Even with the mobilized with the 1/3 that mobilizes in for 2 in red existing.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to mobilize some stuff sometimes, and sometimes you aren't.
Yeah, but then they're always gonna be blocking that mobilized token, right?
I think you have to, even with all the ways to punish.
Plus, it's also a 3-mana 3/3. It passes the vanilla test, the vanilla check.
3-mana 3/3 passes vanilla check these days? I mean, I guess so.
I mean, you don't get better creatures than 3-mana 3/3 most of the time for 3 mana.
Yeah.
So it does. But they have an effect.
Yeah. It's a pretty good effect.
Yeah. What about this one?
It's a pretty good card. Zurgo's Vanguard, 2 in a red for a star 3 dog soldier with mobilize 1. This creature's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. At minimum, that means it'll be attacking as a 2/3, which is terrible. That's awful. At minimum. It is also kind of annoying that this changes dynamically, as in if your creature gets removed in combat, this will shrink, which kind of sucks. If your opponent casts whatever disturbing wail and gives all your things -1/-1, you no longer really have a Zurgo's Vanguard.
Dude, just stop talking about the bad stuff. Come on, talk about real stuff.
It hits really hard. It can hit really hard.
How if it's
but it has no evasion, so just trade off with anything.
That's amazing for 3-drop. It's like, but also there's another scenario, guys. If this is the only creature in your deck, it is gonna be a 1/3 on the defense every single turn. Come on, what is this, like a 2/3 and shit like that? It's never a 2/3. Never a 2/3.
I mean, this does need help. It does need help.
It does not
otherwise
need
it just
help.
trades with anything.
It just needs you to play a game of Magic, and that's help that it needs. So
this has no really. This has no. I don't even like this. You're talking me down on this. This has no evasion whatsoever.
Why do you need an evasion on a well-statted 3-drop?
On a well-statted 3-drop? Because like a 5/3, even like, okay, so it's going to be like a 3/3, 4/3. The turn comes down, which is good. That's good. That's really good.
That's amazing for a mobilized creature. And it doesn't
scale up that much from there.
And then what?
The utility doesn't scale up that much there, unless you can like clear out blockers.
Equal to the number of creatures
I'm giving
you control.
This to C+.
Why do you need this to scale? It's a 3-drop. It trades up very easily. Like it trades with 4-drops and 5-drops very easily.
On defense, right?
On offense.
On offense. Yeah, sure. Your opponent just won't block with that. They'll just block with a 2-drop or their 3-drop.
Yeah, but then sometimes on defense as well. But if they don't block, like if it's blocking, if they're blocking with a 3-drop, it's traded with a 3-drop and mobilized. That's normal.
That's fine. Like your opponent can just choose. They'll just choose.
Wait, what do you want from this? Like flying? You want it to be like some broken bomb?
What are you giving this?
B-, like easy.
Okay, I'm gonna C+. It's not that different.
Okay. You've been talking it like no evasion, 2/3 if it's attacking and nothing else is being played or survived, or I don't know what happened in your game. Like this can.
I think it's significantly better than Caloxion.
What is
but
that?
Not like broken amounts better.
What is the Caloxion?
7/2.
This is a 3 toughness score. Like that's infinitely better.
Yes, that's why it's significantly better. That's why it's significantly better.
But didn't you say not much better? Wait, how did you even? Did you say no?
Fine, you know what? You're right. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. I'm using the wrong words.
It is significantly better, but not much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 7/3 would be amazing. But this also has mobilize. So, like, the thing is, that's not how the game works. That, when you attack, it trades with a 3-drop. It doesn't work like that. Because that's normal. That's like, my 3-drop trade with a 3-drop and immobilized. Nice. But how the game works is, when opponent plays a 4-drop, your 3-drops are not attacking anymore. This thing says, I'm gonna be attacking anyways. When your opponent plays a 5-drop, your 3-drops and 4-drops are probably not attacking, especially 3-drops. This guy says, well, I'm gonna still attack, and I have some synergies, and I'm going wide, and other mobilized creatures make me huge as well. So yeah, you kind of want to block this. It's not a bomb or anything. It's just like there is no check because of the mobilize. Like the check doesn't happen, and that check is extremely important. This I said this multiple times before. When you make opponent, that's why 4 mana 4/2s are garbage most of the time, because opponent doesn't need a trick, doesn't need a +1/+1 counter. When you play 4 mana 4/4, is it broken? No, but opponents 3/3s, 2/2s, and so on, they stop unless they have something. They stop. The more times you ask them, do you have something? The more times the opponent is gonna say nothing. I have nothing. This thing, there is no question. In a lot of games, opponent asks you, do you have something? You say, I don't need it. My 3-drop is still attacking. So that's huge for a 3-drop. We're talking about a 3-drop, guys. Not like 5 mana, oh, it can attack through 6-drops, whatever. Yeah. B-. I can't believe it's just such a good card, man. Oh, I got so riled up about this card. Equilibrium Adept for 3 and a red. It's a 2/4. When this creature enters, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gains double strike. Ooh. Oh, I want to B-. This is great. He regained balance while his opponent regained consciousness. This card is very good, I would say.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. This is a B-.
Yeah, B-, very nice. Ooh, love this. Oh, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool.
War Effort, 3 and a red for an enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever you attack, create a 1/1 red tapped creature token that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Yeah, so secret text, it's pretty much always a 2/1, tapped and attacking. So this is just like additional damage when you get in there. All your creatures, get buffed, including your mobilized creatures. So it represents a lot of damage. I actually think this upside is quite large. This upside is quite large. But I don't necessarily think that. Well, so with cards like this, right, in terms of drafting, it depends 100% if it's powerful enough to take early and build around, versus something that you would like to pick up later. That's pretty much all that the grade is useful for, in terms of stacking it in comparison to solid cards from other colors, right? Like solid commons that fit into like mostly any deck, or like a super powerful niche thing. And how powerful is that in relative to that? I don't think this is quite better than the solid generic cards, in my opinion. So I'm gonna give this a C.
I'm going to B-.
Okay.
Everything is a B-. I thought you were gonna go with. Man, I love the direction you were going for this, because I don't think it needs a builder on grade. I think it's just gonna be really good. Because it's especially good in this set, the +1/+0, and it makes a body every time. It's like everything is a B-. Community strength. Imagine 2 of these. Like now you're getting 3/1s, and all the mobilized creatures are 3/1s. This is gonna be really good, I think, as a top end for those mobilized decks. Like this is the reward that you get, and I don't think you need to like, oh, now I gotta draft differently. I think it's just mobilized cards are pretty good. So B-, extremely happy with this. I think it's gonna be overperforming, even though cards like this usually suck. But cards like this usually don't make a 2/1, and you usually don't have Ender, and you usually don't have mobilized creatures. So there we go. I thought you were gonna say it's always good, but you didn't say that. You said a C. We have some differences in red. What do you say?
Yeah, because it has to attack. You have to attack. I mean, yeah, sure, you can trade up on blocks.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah. I'm on a B-. This, I think, is a great card. Great card.
Sometimes you're getting beaten down, but yeah,
I think it can turn the tides around.
It does really help your race, and you do need to have those mobilizing things.
Man, I get a little bit tingle in my balls every time I see these Dragonstorm cards. They're so interesting. It's so interesting because the Dragons are not just busted, except the white one. I think it's really good. So this is gonna be. I love Dragonstorm cards. 4 and a red, Breaching Dragonstorm, enchantment. Like always, When it enters, exile the cards from top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if that spell's mana value is 8 or less. If you don't, put that card into your hand. So that's really good that you can put it into your hand, because sometimes you are getting like an instant spell, counter spell, sorcery, trick, something that you don't want to play. And whenever Dragon Control enters, like always with these Dragonstorms, return this back to your hand. This one feels weaker, and especially because I think red is gonna be pretty happy going low curve. So this one feels weaker, you really need to do it a lot of times. It costs 5 mana, so it's gonna be hard to do it a lot of times. On its own, that's very weak to play just the top card of your library, because it's not gonna be a 5-drop, it's not gonna be a 4-drop. Your deck's mana value is usually 2 point something, maybe 3 point something. So it's gonna be like a 2-drop, 3-drop. And then it's not gonna be a 2-drop, 3-drop. Sometimes it's gonna be a 0-drop, because you're gonna draw the card into your hand. You're gonna pay 5 mana to draw 1 card, because some cards you just don't wanna play. So it's not even that, it's worse. It is worse than getting on average 2-drop, 3-drop. It is worse than that. Yeah, this is garbage, I think. Just a D-. These cards are just never good.
I was hoping you'd be a bit higher on this, but I'm also on a D-. I don't think it's good at all.
The first one, that's really bad. Ooh!
Iridescent Tiger, 4 and a red for a creature cat. It's a 4/3. When this creature enters, if you cast it, add Wooburg. Yeah, there's okay, let's talk about the Wooburg first. Get the flashy part out of the way.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so there is a Wooburg payoff in green. That's an artifact that we haven't gotten into. That, in my opinion, is quite powerful. Like hitting that Wooburg is quite strong. But I don't think even that scenario is particularly reasonable, because you still need a lot of mana.
You need 7
or
mana,
a reasonable
right?
amount of mana to do that, yeah. And the 2 cards together, which is a lot. Let's evaluate this card on its own. It's a 3/4 for 5 mana. Very mediocre, quite bad. But the tempo that you gain off of this is pretty dang big.
It's big.
Being not worth a card is rough, and having to wait until turn 5 is rough. But being able to double spell with basically anything in your hand with this is pretty sweet. I think this card is fine. I think it's fine. I don't think it's busted. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine, and I think you want to be particular about what you're doing with this. To drop this and then drop another 5-drop is going to feel like an incredibly cracked turn. That's cracked. That's busted in half.
You got a very
right?
0 mana.
That's also like
good 3-drop at that point.
That's like the highest upside of this. And I think the grades in chat actually span this really well. It's like we're literally split from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I'd like to give it a higher grade, but I think it's a C. Because I think the dream scenarios are a little bit too uncommon, and I think the average scenario is more like a C.
But I think you forgot like one very important thing. Monuments.
Monuments are very, very good with this.
Yeah, monuments are just randomly gonna be, I think they're pretty high picks, and they're randomly gonna be on your battlefield, and you're gonna have that 4-drop, 5-drop, 6-drop ready to play.
That makes it a lot better.
Yeah. So those are great changes.
I'll give it a C+ with that alone, literally.
They are uncommon.
Yep.
I am gonna start.
But like you really want to not have to have it in your hand, and to be able to develop it early and then cast this and then get an actual huge board presence is highly consistent.
I think I'm gonna go with a C actually, because like the problem. I baited. A little bit of a problem is I baited you. A little bit of a problem is that they're uncommon, and I think red a lot of times is gonna go kind of low to the ground. It's low to the ground, and I don't know if you're gonna have many things to do after you hit 5 mana. But when we go into red-white, and you have a couple of dragons for 5 mana, and red dragons are actually fine as well. So, yeah, like red and white have really good dragons, and then there are monuments, and these dragons are common. I mean, very good. White has very good one. Red has nice one, I guess. Let's start it as a C plus. But if red is very low to the ground in most archetypes, then it's gonna be not very good. We're gonna see. Pretty cool. Man. What about the red commons? Red uncommons?
Very sweet, for the most part.
Very sweet.
So some like it's funny because I think we have some pretty big we have some actually pretty big differences in grades for red uncommons
Yeah.
in terms of what's good and what's not. But overall looks very positive, I think.
The white still looks the best. Okay, on to the red rares then.
Stadium Headliner. Red for a creature goblin warrior. It's a 1/1 with mobilize 1. 1 in a red, sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature.
Oh!
Yeah, so this scales really nicely in the late game. On its own, it doesn't necessarily take over the game, but
Take over the game,
it just
man.
takes just normal. Yeah, for one drop. It's
Take
kind of
over the
insane.
game.
I mean, to be honest, Bastronaut kind of took over the game. just saying.
Which card?
Absolutely insane magic card. Burnout Bastronaut.
Remind me what it is.
1-drop menace. Start your engines. Double strike. Max speed.
Okay, that's true.
I mean, that card is insane. But this card is extremely good. It's like even drawing it late is really super duper strong. Love to see it on curve. B+.
Ragavan doesn't take over the game. Not even close in limited. It's just fine. I mean, it's good. And I mean, B plus. That's a lot. Like it's gonna.
That might be a little high.
Yeah, it's gonna
But
hopefully.
it scales really nicely.
The 2 damage, hopefully, and then I don't think it scales at all because like you're gonna be paying 3 mana to kill something.
1+2, yes.
Yeah, 1+2 to kill something, and plus if they kill this, you're not gonna be killing that something, so they can stop that. I don't think the scale. When I think about scaling 1-drops, I think about them making creatures, making themselves bigger and stuff like that.
Sure.
But just how I look at it. But there is that red 2 mana trick that makes it into a 3/1 first striker, and it's harder to block then, so that's kind of cool. Man, I'm just gonna be on a B-. I think it's very good, but nothing to write home about. I think there are better uncommons to pick than this card. So it's fine.
If these red archetypes want to be low curve, there's starting off a Stadium Headliner is going to be an unfair, like a busted start.
It's true. That's true. That is definitely true.
I think you're probably more right though. I'll go to B.
Okay. Forest Steel Cutter for 1 and a red. It's an equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has haste, but you equip it for 1 and a red, okay? But whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white monk creature with prowess. You may attach this equipment to it. Now that's a payoff. Now that is a payoff. That is a payoff. You can play this and something, and you get a 2/2 prowess creature, and equipment is still there. That's a payoff. I'm gonna B for this one.
I think this is super strong. I'm gonna go to B+.
And it's a trample.
I do think that flurry is hard to activate, but
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, this is some value, and a threat. Value and a threat.
Finally, we get to Sarkhan. I mean, this is the Sarkhan set, so Sarkhan it better be good.
Sarkhan, Dragon Ascendant, 1 in a red for a legendary creature, human druid. Has a 2/2. When Sarkhan enters, you may behold a dragon. If you do, create a treasure. Whenever a dragon you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkhan until end of turn. Sarkhan becomes a dragon in addition to his other types and gains flying. Yes, I mean, so this hinges on you having a dragon count, which is not going to be every deck. Unfortunately, this is dependent a little bit on your deck building. Not super crazy, but also for a 2-drop, not bad. If you get 2 mana, 2/2, get a treasure, that's very strong already.
Yes.
Right? And the fact that this can stay on the battlefield if it hasn't traded off, and just start clocking your opponent in the air when you do drop 1 or 2 dragons, that is very nice. That is very, very nice. With the downside of the inconsistencies of having dragons, I think this is a B-.
This looks like an uncommon, yeah. I'm gonna go with a C+, because I'm not a... The uncommon dragons are the best and the white ones, so I'm not sure how many you're gonna play. So C+. It could be much worse, but then you just don't care about it. It could be much better. If you do get a treasure on turn 2, that's crazy. But it's still... I think a lot of times it's just gonna be a 2-2 or 2, so that's pretty bad. There's a Light Shatter for 2 and already it's a 3-3 haste. That's already fine. But when it enters, discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. Okay. When it attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard. You may play that card this turn. Oh la la! Okay. Well, what happened? Something broke? Are you guys is everybody back?
I'm pretty sure that was on my stream.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I can talk to you about it later.
Oh yeah, your chat said it. Okay. You're back. You're back. Alright, 3-3 haste that loots 2 cards, that ramages 2 cards, like discard 2, draw 2, or discard 1, draw 1, and then gives you value and tempo. It's very powerful. So you need to have 5 when you play this. That's the best thing, right? Have 5. Man, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Just as a haste that discards 2, even if you're not gonna have more cards a lot of times. I like that a lot. A little bit problem with the Omen Dragon is that it gets shuffled into your library, right? When you play the Omen, so you're not gonna get 2 cards when you try to do it. So that kind of sucks. For this card, exactly. It's good for anything else. Oh, you may play that card this turn. Oh, I thought I thought you don't have to pay the mana for it. It's still great. It's still great. I'm gonna give it a B, just for the first effects and if you trigger the last one, really nice.
A little lower. It's fine, but it's a little bit of a hoop to jump through. But honestly, even on turn 3, it's fine. So B- for me. Really good still. Really good card. Magmatic Hellkite, 2 red for a creature dragon. It's a 4/5 flying. When this creature enters, destroy target non-basic land opponent controls. Its controller searches their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tapped with a stun counter on it, then shuffle. Yeah, I don't really care too much about that text. Yeah, sometimes it'll happen, but it's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about 4 mana, 4/5 flying, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty dang good. Very strong. He blocks everything, attacks super well. Yeah, lovely magic card. B- for me.
I mean, Scotty, the effect is very good in this set.
Okay, so there's a bunch of tap lands. There's a bunch of triomes, right?
Yeah, I think it's really good in this set. They just
and the stun. Okay, specifically the stun counter is actually that's actually really spicy.
Yeah, they have 1 less mana.
Because like even if it had that effect, you're not taking your opponent off of fixing that often. But the stun counter is huge for it.
Yeah.
In terms of messing up your opponent's next turn specifically, especially on curve.
No fixing next turn. Maybe they need more mana for like double red or whatever. And no fixing next turn. 1 less land next turn. On a very powerful body.
Yeah, I'll go to a B here.
I'm gonna B.
Actually, you're right. It's quite strong.
I'm gonna B as well. Yeah, very nice card. And we don't have Sarkhan, right, as Planeswalker, or do we?
We just saw Sarkhan. That's not a Planeswalker.
I thought it was maybe gonna be an arc of him becoming a Planeswalker or something. We're on to red mythics. Stormscale Scion for 4 and double red, that's 6 mana. The 4/4 flyer and other dragons you control get +1/+1. It also has Storm. Alright. 6 mana 4/4 with this effect is garbage. So how do we get 2 dragons? Like, if you storm it once, you get 2 5/5 dragons, which is very powerful. If this was 7 mana, get 2 5/5 dragons that buff all of your dragons by +2/+2 would be, I think, really good. Man, I gotta tell you the truth, I think this card sucks. I think this card sucks. Oh, Tiger makes it better. But you gotta... No, on turn 6, yeah, Tiger on turn 6, right?
Hey, but Lola.
Yeah.
Think
What?
with your head for a second. What about 2 tigers?
What about 3?
Oh snap! I'm not thinking big enough.
Did you think about it?
I didn't. I'm such a fool.
You don't know anything. And then you're like, oh shit, I played them on turn 5. Okay, this sucks. I'm gonna... There is Harmonize, right? So that's a big plus. Harmonize gives this D plus for me. Because it's 7 mana. When you have a condition of Harmonize. When you have something to tap.
Gosh. Yeah, I'll be slightly more of a believer at a C-. But it's I can't justify C-, D+.
Yeah, it's so hard.
I'm trying to defend it. You can cascade into it.
Okay, yeah, you can cascade it, yeah. You can pay that 5 mana thing, you know? That horrible card. You can play that horrible card and hit this. And then you get it back. Then you get that card back into your hand. No, you don't. No, you do. You get that card back in. Okay, fuck off. Not a good card.
So busted.
Yeah. Next. Oh, okay.
Is that it? Or
no, there's the next card.
Nope, there's one more. Oh yeah, okay. Dracogenesis, 6 red enchantment. You may cast the dragon spells without paying their mana cost. F.
At that point, you already played your dragons, and if you didn't, I don't know how you're alive. Like at this point, if you didn't play your dragons, I seriously don't understand how you didn't die. If there are multiple dragons in your hands, I just don't understand it. So you got super lucky that you survived. Good, you're gonna win now and go 1-3. Yeah. Red Mythic's not great.
Hey, fun fact. Do you want to know a fun fact that makes this even worse?
What?
You can't omen for free.
Oh, you can't do... okay, but you wouldn't omen anyways, right?
So bad.
I think. Okay, let me just get a cup of coffee real quick. Is that okay?
Okay,
like
me too.
3 minutes?
Yeah, I'm leaving. Bye.
We are back in 3 minutes, guys.